Thomas Alva Edison was born on February 11, 1847 in Ohio in USA. He is named after his great-uncle Thomas. His father was a gifted man and his mother was a teacher. He moved to Michigan with his family when he was 4 years old. Thomas was the seventh and last member of the Edison family. His mother died in 1871. He went through a difficult period in elementary school. At the time of his hearing loss, the principal believed that Thomas was a weak and stupid student, so he was expelled from school and Edison was forced to continue his education at home under his mother teaching. Subscribe our YouTube channel to watch the rest of this video and more. Alva went to public school in Michigan for 5 years, but because most of the schooling was oral and Thomas also suffered from hearing loss, he quickly got tired of school and turned to reading several books to make up for it. At the age of 12, he began selling fruit and newspapers at the Grand Trunk Railway. Using small and old printing tools, he succeeded in writing the Grand Trunk Messenger's book on a garbage truck and released it in 1862. In the same year, Edison started working as a telegraph operator and worked in this department for 6 years. Edison even won the French Legion d'Honneur. Thomas's first wife, Mary Steele, died in 1887. They had 3 children. Edison met his second wife when he was 20 and they eventually married. In 1868, at the age of 21, Edison patented the electric vote counting machine. A year later, as the technical director of the railways, he succeeded in inventing a kind of printed telegraph. Contrary to popular belief that Morse code was transmitted to the operator in the form of short, elongated sounds, the telegraph printed them on paper tape like dots and lines. Other important inventions of Thomas Edison include light bulbs, turntables, batteries, kinetograph, sound recorders, and universal motors that operate on alternating and direct current. He took a big step in this direction by establishing the first factory and electricity distribution network for homes and places. In 1876, Edison established a well-equipped research laboratory in Menlo Park. This was very influential in Thomas's progress and it can be considered one of his greatest initiatives. Small and large inventions were made in this laboratory, and due to the supervision and organization of Edison and his staff, all these inventions were registered under the name of Edison. General Electric is one of the most important companies founded by Thomas Edison in 1892. The company operates in the field of production of medical equipment, power distribution facilities, gas and wind turbines, home appliances, and so on. How did Edison invent electricity? This hard-working inventor worked hard on this idea and finally in 1879 he succeeded in inventing the light bulb. He succeeded in patenting the invention by inserting charcoal filaments into a glass bubble. His company began manufacturing light bulbs and electricity in New York in 1882, and since then the use of electricity in homes has spread around the world. Edison was a movie thief, and Edison made hundreds of copies of George Millie's Journey to the Moon. The film industry is in Hollywood, which is why the filmmakers were trying to distance themselves from Thomas Edison, who was in New Jersey, but the Ninth Court in California ruled against the LA privilege. Thomas died of diabetes on October 18, 1931 at the age of 84 at his home. During his 84 years of life, he managed to patent 1,368 inventions and won many awards and honors. Henry Ford stored his last breath before his death in a laboratory tube. After his death, the American electric lights went out for a minute. Some interesting things to know about Edison. One of the reasons Edison invented the phonograph was to record people's wishes and last words before they died. In 1915, rumors spread that Nikola Tesla and Edison had both rejected the Nobel Prize because they refused to share it. Edison was trying to build a ghost hunt, and one of his assistants died while testing it. The tattoo machine is a modified version of the Thomas Edison electric pen. Edison had a degree of deafness and believed that his deafness made him the most successful scientist. Thomas Edison rescued a toddler from a train, giving him the job of a telegraph operator when he was a boy. Thomas Edison mainly killed animals using electricity and helped develop the electric chair to create alternating current to be more dangerous than direct current. Matthew of Canada first invented the incandescent lamp in 1874, 5 years before Thomas Edison, and then sold it to him for $5,000. Many of the inventions that Edison has patented in his name are in fact completions and modifications of tools and devices that others have already invented and used. Such reforms, despite their many benefits, cannot be of particular importance throughout history. Thomas Edison invented one of the first versions of talking dolls. But what was the secret story of Edison's mother? Just 3 months after going to school, the school principal fired him for being playful and stupid, arguing that his presence would impair the progress of other students. From that day on, Edison's mother was forced to teach him at home. A teenager who set fire to a train car for a science experiment was soon expelled from school and eventually invented the light bulb. On the way home from school, Edison brought a note from his teacher to his mother, asking her to read the note, which she read to her child with tears in the eyes. The mother said, "Your child is a genius and this school is small for him. Take care of him and teach him at home from now on." Years later, his mother had passed away. One day, Edison, now the greatest inventor of the century, was reviewing his memories in the closet of a house. It was the same note that teacher had sent to Edison's mother, in which he wrote, "Your child is a fool. We will not accept him to school from tomorrow." Edison cried for hours and wrote in his memories, "Thomas Alva Edison was a stupid child who became the genius of the century by a heroic mother."